guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with a video to celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't know if I'm going to post this on Valentine's Day or not, but it is for my week long of videos every day to celebrate Valentine's Day and romance. So this one is books that will make you believe in love. And so these are romances where the couple beats the odds, or they are just so perfect for each other that it just gives you hope that romance still exists. And I absolutely love them. So I have a whole list to share with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. I have a mix of contemporary and historicals, and I just want to share my favorite romances that inspire love. The first one is actually a newer read of mine and one of my new favorite historical romances, and that is The Duchess War by Courtney Milan. This one has a lot of mixed reviews on Goodreads, so I was very nervous going into it. Lacey, I think, gave it 3 stars, and I was very nervous. But I've heard amazing things about Courtney Milan. Now I have to read everything she writes because this one was so good. It has a slow start. It's very quiet because our main character is quiet. She doesn't like to draw any attention to herself. She does suffer from anxiety and PTSD over something that had happened to her, and so she doesn't like large crowds, she doesn't like people looking at her, and so she's very soft-spoken and kind of just blends in. But something happens where she is accused of handing out these like handbills, I think is what they're called, to encourage workers to go on strike, and she's like, it's not me, but the guy is going to accuse her of it, and so it's going to get a bunch of attention on her, and she has secrets that she doesn't want out, so she decides she has to figure out who did it. And we have a duke who she runs into at a party in the beginning because she is kind of sort of intended for someone and she's hiding from him, and the duke is also hiding in the same place, and they meet and it's adorable, and there's a romance with her and the duke. And the reason I love this is because of how their romance blossoms and how madly they fall for each other. These are all romances. It's not a spoiler to tell you they do end up together, but oh my gosh, their romance at the end, I was just squealing over, fawning over, obsessing over. It was adorable how much he loved her and stood up for her, and the things that he did at the end. I was absolutely swooning. I could not recommend this enough. I'm so excited to continue on. I want to run to my computer right now and order the next book because I need it. And I love how it's indie published, but it's still mass market. And I love my historicals being mass market. Don't ever take that away from me. So I could not recommend this enough for something that just makes you believe in love because of the couple, specifically the hero. The next one's actually A Gentleman Never Keeps Score by Cat Sebastian. This one took me by surprise and I love it. It's my favorite Cat Sebastian book. It is an historical romance, and one of our heroes is a recluse, so he won't leave his house because society knows that he's gay, and there was a scandal that happened, and so he never leaves his house. He was left his house by someone else, and he just never goes out in society. He kind of talks to his family but doesn't really, and he really just only talks to his servants. And then we have the love interest who owns a bar, and he has a friend who has a nude painting of her that this person owned, that the person who used to own the house of the guy who's the recluse, he has it. So our bar owner is like, you know what, I'll help find this portrait because it is a scandalous portrait. So he tries to break into the house of the recluse hero, and they end up meeting. And the thing I love most about this romance is that they are so honest and open and communicating with each other, because the recluse hero, he has this sense of everything is his fault and he doesn't like to be touched anymore and he can't trust anybody, and so they have to communicate. Sam, who's the hero who owns the bar, is just making sure everything's okay and asking him what he does and doesn't want, and finds ways to make things work between them, and it is so sweet. Oh my goodness. If you want a romance that is just utterly sweet and has a couple who really communicates and talks to each other and really loves each other, I would recommend this one. The next one I have is, I haven't read it in a long time, but it is my favorite of the series, and that is Be My Hero by Linda Cage. This one is the 3rd book in the series, and our heroine's pregnant, and the hero is not the father of the baby, and they have this kind of budding relationship throughout the series until you get to this one. I would recommend reading them in order, but this is Ava and Pick's story, and Pick is actually kind of unavailable for a certain reason, which makes it even more heartbreaking, but they have just the sweetest romance, and Pick is always there for Ava. He is such a good guy, especially because he's kind of in this situation that he can't get out of because he's such a good guy. There's also this other situation where Pick actually saw a fortune teller in the beginning, and that kind of foretells his future romantically, and it was really cool how that all came together. But I absolutely love this series. I think the entire series is fantastic for people who want a really good romance. The first one is between a gigolo and a college student. The second one is a football player, college student, and a college professor. And then there's this one, and then the fourth one I've already read as well. They're both in college. They're all new adults, but I really love this one, and the romance is just really cute. And I don't think I've ever read a pregnant heroine and someone who is not the father of the baby, so I really enjoyed this romance. Next, we have one that's just absolutely heartbreaking, and I cried my eyes out, and that is Making Faces by Amy Harmon. This one I read a while ago, but the hero was actually disfigured because he was in the military, and so he was in a really bad explosion and lost friends, so there is grief, loss of loved ones, PTSD. He now doesn't want anybody to ever see him, and so he's only out at night, and he works at like a grocery store or bakery. I don't remember where he works, but I think it's part of a grocery store, but he'll only go out at night. He doesn't want people to see him because he is scarred, and our heroine is just this whimsical, happy person, and they strike up a friendship and fall in love, and it's amazing. It's so good. If you like someone who's very hurt and someone else who's just so open but overlooked falling for each other, you have to read this one. So the next two are ones where the couples go through a lot and finally end up together. So the first one is the Kingmaker Duet by Kennedy Ryan. I absolutely love this one, and it's a duet because the end of the first one has a huge cliffhanger and you don't know how these two people are going to end up together. Kennedy Ryan loves to have a long time pass in her book, so that happened in Queen Move too, where in this one they meet when she's actually really young. She is half Native American and she is protesting a pipeline, and our hero's dad is actually part of the company putting the pipeline in, so he ends up at the protest and ends up going to jail with her, and they meet, but he's way too old for her because she is underage. I don't know if she's 18 or younger than 18, but he's like early 20s, so like it's not okay then. It's okay when they meet later and she's in her 20s and he's in his 20s, like that's okay. But when they first meet, it's like, no, this isn't happening. And there's no like weird thing happening. He's like, I'm way too old for her right now, it's fine. But then they meet again, and then they meet again. It's a romance that spans quite a while, and they both go through things that are life-threatening, and you're like, how are they gonna get together? How are they gonna make it work with each of their respective jobs and priorities and life plans? And oh, it's so good. They obviously end up together, and so this is one where you believe that a couple, despite the odds, can be together. Another favorite of mine, another one I cried in, another one that a couple just goes through the ringer together is The Gravity of Us by Brittany C. Cherry. And I really think the best way to read this book is to not know absolutely anything about it. Our heroine is a very free-spirited, fun person. She owns a flower shop, and our hero is going through a lot. And they meet, and she decides to help him out with something, and they fall in love. But he has so much that he's going through, and that's all I can say. So I would definitely recommend this if you like when a couple goes through a lot of trials. The hero is very standoffish, does not want anything to do with her, but has to accept her help, and them falling for each other. There's loss of a loved one in here, so be aware of that, but it was so good. Then for one where the hero is just utterly in love with the heroine is Indigo by Beverly Jenkins. This one, oh my gosh. So this is Hester and Galen. In the beginning, it starts out with Hester nursing Galen back to health because she works for the Underground Railroad, and he helps slaves as well, and he is heavily beaten and almost to the point of his life, and they rescue him, and he is nursed back to health in Hester's house. He's very upset that he's hurt and keeps on trying to do things himself, but then they fall head over heels for each other, and Galen is no question that's his woman, and he isn't afraid to show her that he loves her. So if you like a hero who is just so swoon-worthy and will do anything for his heroine, I think you would love this. I love those kind of heroes. I might just do a recommendation video of that because I love it when the hero isn't afraid to say how he feels and will do anything to show her he loves her. That's definitely what happens in this book. And the last one I have is another romance that spans through a lot of time, and it is like a fated mate story. It is paranormal, and that is Wolfsong by TJ Klune. This one's another one of my all-time favorites, and this one they meet when they're young, and so Joe is actually a kid when they meet, and there's no romantic feelings until they are both of age. Like Ox doesn't even realize he's attracted to Joe until Joe is over 18. I don't remember how old he is, but like there's a really funny scene in here when Ox realizes that he's in love with Joe, and Joe has been like enamored with Ox his whole life. Like as a kid, you know how like they look up to someone or cling to people. That's how Joe acted when they first met, but this is a werewolf story. Joe is from a family of werewolves. Ox lives in a town where the werewolves move in next door to him, and he's been really an outcast his whole life, doesn't really feel like he belongs, and he's just a simple guy. But then it's a found family with Joe's family, the Bennett family. He really finds a home with them, and it's really tragic. People die, but there's an enemy out there for the werewolves, and they're gonna have to fight them, and it's amazing. And you just don't know if they're gonna be together. It's a very slow burn, slow paced romance, character driven novel, but by the end you're just like, finally, these two people need to be together against the odds. They can get together and have their happily ever after. So this one definitely makes you believe in love. And those are some romance recommendations where the romance will make you believe that love is possible, that love exists, that there are people who are just over the top madly in love with each other. They get together despite everything against them, and I love these books. Let me know if you have any romances that really make you believe in love that you think others should read. I would love to hear, so leave your recommendations down below. And that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.